Hey everyone, welcome to the Jayda and Stitches show. It's chore day around here. I've got my houseworking clothes on and I've got to clean the sinks, and I wanted to share with you my absolute favorite kitchen sink scrubber. I have one of these parked at each of the sinks in the house, so the bathroom sink, the kitchen sink, the laundry room sink. This little thing is that polyester scrubby yarn, and it makes the best little sink scrubber. I keep one in a little dish next to each of the sinks. It dries really fast, it doesn't get smelly, you can throw them in the washing machine, you can throw them in with some Javex if you super want to clean them, and they are just the right amount of scrubbing power to clean your sink, take the lime or the calcium deposits off of your chrome, like your faucets and stuff, and it just gets rid of all that soap scum and it takes it off the counter. I just love these. I use them all the time and I wanted to share it with you today. So grab some polyester scrubby yarn, grab your hooks, any hook you like. Let's head on over to the craft table and we'll stitch up probably the best little scrubber you've ever had together. In order to make this little sink scrubber, I recommend using the Red Heart Scrubby yarn. This is 100% polyester. You only need around 10 yards, so you don't need that much. I actually finished off one ball halfway through this one and then started with the second ball. And I kind of like that two-tone thing. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and you can use any hook size you want. I'm using an H or a 5mm, an H or 8, also known as. This one just gives my stitches a little bit more of a denseness, which I like for scrubbing power. But like I said, you can use whatever hook is comfortable for you. We're going to be using the Granny Heart pattern, that little short 2-row pattern that we've already got a tutorial on, but we're going to actually run that tutorial right up here or over here alongside this tutorial, just so you can see it done with a regular size 4 worsted or medium weight yarn, because this is a little bit tricky to see. We're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to chain 5. You can chain more if you need. We're just making a little chained ring to work into. I like 5. I feel it makes a small enough ring, but big enough that I can get all of my initial row 1 stitches into it. But if you need more space, you can chain a few more if you like. Join with a slip stitch to that first chain to make a ring. It's nice and sturdy, and here we go. We're going to chain 3. The chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and the first row of this little pattern is your standard double crochet shell granny row. 2 more double crochets into the ring to complete that shell. For the corners, I like 2 chains, so chain 2 for the corner, and then 3 double crochet. I'm working over top of my short tail. Chain 2. I also find the chain 2 corners help you see your corners, especially when you're working with yarn that's fluffy or frizzy or has a lot of texture like this one does. 3 more double crochet. Chain 2 for the corner. And we've got 1 shell, 2 shell, 3 shell. We need to do 3 more double crochet. That's the last shell for row 1. There we go. Chain 2 for your last corner, and then you're going to try and find the top of your chain 3, but this really isn't super important. Just get it through a stitch there and then find that middle stitch and just slip stitch into the top of it. If you accidentally joined in the top of it, that's okay too. Because of the nature of this fluffy frizzy yarn, exactly where you put your stitches isn't super important. So that's row 1 complete. You've got 4 sides. It's your standard granny square going, so 4 corners, 4 sides. You've got 4 double crochet shells. Those are 3 double crochets per shell. We've slip stitched into the middle stitch, and we're going to start our little heart row. So this row 2 is what shapes it into a heart. You're going to aim for your first corner space and work 8 double crochet into it. So that's 8 double crochet into that corner space, chain 1, find the next corner space. This is why I like the chain 2 corner spaces. They're easy to find. So there's that chain 2 corner space, single crochet into it, chain 1. Now you're looking at that bottom shell. So I like to kind of grab the double crochets on either side. So here's my 2 corners. I just single crocheted into it, double crochet, double crochet. Here's the middle double crochet between my thumbs. Into that double crochet, the top of it, I'm going to work the bottom of the heart. So single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet all into the same stitch. So that's the bottom point of the heart. That's nice for getting into tiny little corners. Here's the next corner space. We're going to chain 1, leaving that little bottom point, single crochet into that corner space, chain 1, and now you're looking for the last corner space. This is right next to where we fastened off row 1. You're going to work 8 double crochet into that space. And that just neatly wraps up the whole row. All right. You are going to now find the middle stitch of that shell. So here's your 2 corner spaces. There's the 2 stitches on either side of it. That's the middle. This is where we slip stitched into before we started row 2. You're going to stick your hook right into that same double crochet and slip stitch to join. And that gives us a little bit of a heart shape. Exact shaping isn't important. Fasten off. I like to try and get those little tiny bits out of the way so that I don't have little tiny bits of polyester all over my workspace. Fasten off, give that a nice tight little pull to give that knot something tight so it doesn't want to unravel on you. And I cut an extra long tail because I really want to weave this in underneath some of these stitches. So just grab your needle, stick it in under some stitches. It doesn't matter if it shows through to the front or the back because you're not going to see any tails or out of place stitches because of the crazy fluffy nature of this very textured yarn. Double back, go through the same stitches. You're going to do this a few times so that that tail does not want to come undone. And after 3 back and forths, I think that's probably enough. You can trim anything that wants to hang out there. I'm just going to trim it just not quite right against it because that will just function as one of the little fluffy bits. And there you go, a little heart-shaped scrubber. And I love this for my sinks. I have one parked at each sink in a little dish. And whenever I need to give the sink or the counter or even the taps a little scrub, that is what I pull out. It takes off the little bit of calcium or lime deposits. It helps shine up the sink. I don't even need a lot of soap. I really love this little thing, and I thought you might like it too. I love these, and I hope you guys will too. Thanks so much for dropping in today. We will see you soon here on the Jayda and Stitches show. Until then, stay safe, stay crafty, and have a great week. Bye, guys!
Hi, everybody! Mr. InStitches here. Thank you for watching today. Here are some of our other videos you might be interested in. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.